Thailand outlining 4 benchmarks to gauge progress for Myanmar moving out of crisis post-coup. A coup, of course, in 2021, after talks between ASEAN foreign ministers and their Myanmar counterpart in Bangkok on Sunday. The meeting, part of a, quote, calibrated re-engagement approach to advance ASEAN's 5-point consensus through dialogue. Thailand's foreign minister laying out the indicators, and these are greater humanitarian access, reduced violence against civilians, continued inclusive dialogue, and a more conducive environment for national reconciliation, including developments involving former leader Aung San Suu Kyi. ASEAN adopted the 5-point consensus after Myanmar's 2021 military takeover, but without significant progress since then.
I know this is the first meeting, and we still have to hope to make further progress. And the ASEAN foreign ministers will have further in-depth discussion on the briefing at the AMM, the ASEAN ministerial meeting next week in Manila.
And for more on this, Jeremy Ko joins us live from Bangkok. Jeremy, these 4 benchmarks raised by Thailand's foreign ministers, how significant are they in terms of ASEAN resolving crisis in Myanmar?
Well, Wei Su, as you alluded to earlier, ASEAN had long insisted that Myanmar make progress on its 5-point consensus before being allowed to participate at the political level. Now, that's the bloc's main roadmap for resolving the crisis, and it includes the immediate cessation of violence and constructive dialogue among all parties towards a peaceful solution. So Sunday's meeting had raised concerns over whether ASEAN was accepting Myanmar back into the bloc without getting anything meaningful in return. And following the meeting, ASEAN officials didn't provide specifics on how progress would be measured. Now, in fact, at a news conference on Sunday, Mr. Sihasak was careful to frame it as an evolution in tactics rather than a change in position, which makes his latest remarks significant, by saying that releasing political prisoners and making positive developments regarding Aung San Suu Kyi are needed to create a conducive environment for dialogue and national reconciliation. They are effectively making it more specific as to what goodwill and constructive dialogue under the 5-point consensus would look like in practice. But whether this approach yields any progress remains to be seen, because these are not new ASEAN conditions, but they could be concrete examples of confidence-building measures that could signal Myanmar's willingness to engage meaningfully in the peace process.
Thanks, Jeremy Cole there speaking to us from Bangkok.